He's like, hey, do you want to be on TV? Yeah, he's yelling at people, and then Igor's like, oh my God.
And that's where he doesn't get his garbage truck from the valet, which means there's 2 garbage trucks that are
His garbage truck looks like
at this
Optimus
restaurant.
Prime. Yeah. Yeah, random people walking around doing weird shit too, like asking if there's a chase scene.
Yeah.
Has there been a chase scene? No, not yet. Okay, cool.
That's
So
the
this
weirdest part. Like they totally take it out of the normal and just call out things, just things that you're thinking, but they put it in the movie. That's what I like about it. Very weird, but very cool.
Yeah, I think that's the appeal of it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, again, that it doesn't take itself very seriously.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah. Well, and then after this, now we're back in the whole apartment where George Clooney's talking about his hi-fi system.
Yeah.
He's like, listen, I got this badass hi-fi system. She doesn't like this. She doesn't like Frank Sinatra.
Right.
Which is like one of that's like his idol is Frank
Right.
Sinatra. You know what I mean? Like this dude's listening to Sinatra for real. He's a go-go 80s guy.
There could not be a more 80s pair than George Clooney and other guy,
Yeah.
Anthony Stark, which is weird.
Yeah.
His name's Tony Stark, but okay.
And it is. Oh my
Yeah,
God. Holy
yeah.
shit. Why didn't
So
I
we'll start
think of
calling him Iron Man.
that? Yeah. So Iron Man.
Well, you remember that one time when George Clooney and Iron Man?
What? Yeah, it's called
No,
Return
I
of the
did
Killer
not.
Tomatoes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is where FT gets knocked off the window, right?
Yeah, he kind of falls down because FT's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And he bounces around everything, goes under the sewers.
Yeah, he's a fuzzy
It's like he
tomato,
gets
man.
kicked into a fucking car wash. He actually ends up in front of a secondhand store.
Yeah.
And the woman like has to leave and be like, tomato.
Well, and they all freak out, like in surrounded and stuff. It looks like they're kicking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get it, guys. Is it
They're like straight Rodney King this thing.
No, I mean they all
Yeah,
portray
it
like
was
they're going to run
It was
away.
92 yet.
Yeah, true.
It's close.
They're going to act like they're going to run away or something, and then like everybody's like attack, and you're like,
Yeah.
wait! I thought you were terrified of these things.
Yeah, of course the newscaster's there too for some odd reason. Everybody's still going crazy. And yeah, they're running away. So Clooney and Tony Stark and then the tomato chick and FT are all running, and they figure out that she's got a fucking tomato, right?
Right.
Like she's all about it. And yeah, and it makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
Well, now they have to have a plan around the fuzzy tomato.
Yeah,
But
well-
we're going to cut back to Gangrene and see what's going on in there.
Yeah.
And he's trying to put together a Mr. Potato Head. And can't seem to get the eyes right, I believe
He
says.
never can get the
Yeah,
eyes
never
right.
can get the eyes right.
Yeah, what I noticed about his like house too, he's got a lot of Frank Frazetta paintings hanging up,
Yeah.
like lithographs and shit like that,
Yeah.
all throughout the whole place, which is kind of weird too in one of those scenes. Yeah. The plot doesn't really develop that much
At all.
at this point.
We're
you
just
know?
going to switch back to other players. But here's the part where we run out of money.
Yeah.
So we switch back to Tomato Girl and Iron Man, and they're having a discussion about FT, and then this is where we break to the side where they realize they don't have any money.
Yeah.
George Clooney's like getting his makeup put on
Yeah.
and everything.
He's got a
Smoking
cigarette.
Yeah.
He's like, wait a minute, guys. I have an idea. Why don't we get sponsorships? It's weird, too, because that's the director, and he's a real director, and he's even starring in this movie, too.
Yeah.
And, of course, George Clooney's a cool motherfucker, right? So he gets them to start investing.
And now we notice, and if you didn't notice before, everything that's in this movie has been like the white box with
Yeah.
black printing generic from back in like the 80s.
Yeah, it's a straight up Repo Man shit.
Yeah, but now you're about to see the Pepsi commercial.
Yeah, yeah. Even everything has like.
Now you can see Pepsi in the background, Moosehead in the background.
Yeah, he's like, when
When
I'm
I-
thirsty, I reach for a nice cold Pepsi Cola, the choice of a new generation.
Do you know, like when
Catch
your
the wave.
mustache looks like it has glue holding it, You're like, hey,
Yeah.
it's totally real.
Yeah, like they throw in all those little funny product little endorsements for it.
Yeah, throughout the rest of this movie, there'll be like small endorsements, which is awesome.
The next funny part is whenever they're sitting at the table and the hands come up and put the box of cornflakes in front of them, and they have the box of cornflakes, but it's blocking them, and they're like, just get this out of the way. So they're breaking that fourth wall for everybody.
Absolutely.
And then of course
Gaddafi comes in.
Yeah, you're bringing in all the extra people, and this is where it has that weird ninja battle scene.
Yeah, there's like cowboys, ninjas. I know there was
cowboys, ninjas, and then the original characters battling each other, and the dude's like brushing his teeth with Colgate too.
Like showing off, like holding the box.
I think it
and
was
everything.
Crest.
Oh yeah,
That was paid product placement.
Like, I love it. If they need that money that bad to make fun of it, I love that.
That's
though.
pretty
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, yeah. Well, see, again, they utilize a lot of the funny stuff. Really, I guess effectively in the movie for how tongue in cheek and stupid it is.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just it actually is pretty funny because then they got the Master of Disguise. He's still the original Master of Disguise too.
Yes.
Like in the original, like he was hiding out as a tomato.
He was he was the Gaddafi.
Yeah, he could put on any costume and nobody would know it was really him.
Right.
Even though he stands out like a sore thumb the whole time. Yeah. So, yeah, they're still trying to find his John Aston's girlfriend, the tomato woman. But yeah,
Tara, if you will.
yeah. This scene coming up too is really weird because they go to this weird like housing development that's on top of a toxic waste dump.
Yeah, when like there's like all these lists like lithium, hydride, all these different things that are like in this dump.
See, he's even wearing Reeboks too.
Yeah, he
like brand
is.
new pair
I
of
know
Reeboks.
everything's now.
Yeah, but what's funny too is he's like a real newscaster, so he has a suit jacket on top, and a nice shirt, but he's got really short, skimpy shorts underneath. It's fucking weird,
right?
Yeah, and he's getting whatever the toxic waste is to actually make more tomatoes.
Yeah, and
tomato dudes.
And Chad is following him. Chad Anthony Stark,
Yes.
Iron Man, whatever you want to call him.
What?
His name's Chad in the movie.
Yeah.
The character's name or the actor's name is Anthony Stark.
No way.
So I call him Iron Man.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. I did not know that.
He might have used that.
He probably has
Uh-oh.
since then. He's like, I'm Iron Man.
He's like, I'm the real Iron Man at all the comic book conventions.
Yeah.
I'm the real Iron Man. just like the Cobra Kai
I'm
dudes.
inevitable.
Like the Cobra Kai dudes, whenever I saw them, they were like, Daniel-san was a real bad guy. We were the good guys. I'm like, whatever, Cobra Kai douche.
So we got Chad following all around and seeing that they're taking this back to Gangrene's place, this toxic waste. And then he goes to go meet up with sorry.
You're good.
He goes to meet up with the fam, George Clooney and Tomato Girl.
Yeah. Well, he's still product endorsing the whole time.
Now he's got a Foster's. George Clooney's got a Foster's in his hand. No Henry bar. I mean, it's
The
definitely
advertisements go through the roof.
absolutely.
Well,
And that's when he walks in on Tomato Girl chewing on on fertilizer.
Yeah, she's like, oh, this stuff is
fertilizer
really good.
sticks.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, these are really good.
And they scream a lot
Yeah.
at each other, not words, just
Yeah. And then Igor captures her and actually ends up taking her back.
That's right.
But FT gets left behind too for some reason. I don't know
Because
why.
he's
they leave him.
FT, he's got to save the day.
Yeah, because FT is a badass. This is the real acting coming in too.
Yeah.
The real actors, except for Clooney.
Yeah.
He's learning his craft.
he plays his role perfectly, but it's
Yes. He's just learning his craft.
It's like, hey, George, here's what we want you to do. We want you to be that goofy friend that's aloof and the woman getter.
Yeah, the womanizer.
Okay, perfect.
Did
I
you
could
see
do
a
that.
tomato? And yeah, then they go. Then they go to the shop where the tomato dude's in there, and the shopkeeper tomato guy, where they got to basically they infiltrate trying to find her because he obviously thinks she's turned into a tomato,
Right.
again, which no, she hasn't. She's not going to
Because she's been taken by Igor.
yes,
Igor's guy.
yeah, taken back.
But then we see the smuggler guy that has FT.
yes, yeah. So they got to rescue him.
And they do. They run through, they snatch him and run.
Yeah, and FT is just a weird little fucking weird tomato.
And he's got the one tomato that he still thinks is her.
But it's not.
It's not her.
No.
And how did he figure
Discern
out?
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't remember.
Did he because he was like sniffing them, he was doing all this other stuff, but
it's
you're
kinda
like, what the
strange.
fuck?
It probably smelled like fertilizer.
Weird shit.
God, see, even this podcast is hard to get through because
really
this fucking movie is so hard to get to. I don't even know where else.
So this is where he goes into. So this portion, this is actually a good part because he goes into Clooney's room to tell him, oh, she's been taken. We got to go to Gangrene's house because he watches that TV show that kind of looks like a mad professor. And he's like, I saved your life. And he's like, once. And he's like, twice. And he's like, ah. But he's like with some model or something from Sweden.
He's
or
like,
something.
yeah, once. And he's like, twice. And he's like, yeah. Twice. Twice? All right, I'll come with you.
And so then they suit up because they're going to go save Tara. And of course, that's where we get our Honda from San Diego commercial for ATVs.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the
And
best
we see
things.
the directors as they're driving by. We see the directors and the production cast. And they're all like eating food and having a party now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, where'd you get that ATV? Oh, yeah, you got it down at blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
San Diego. And you're like, oh my God.
And we see
dude.
Clooney, like once they get to the place, Clooney does some goofy roll. I just remember that going up like some sneaky roll, like when he's going up to the door.
But it's not hiding anything.
No,
It's
not
just
at
in the
all.
middle of plain sight.
It's just goofy.
Such a horrible like. They're doing the same thing they did in the first one, except for they're not having like the conference room deal, so they keep that going.
So they have we're not going to just have a sign that says laboratory, and
Well,
then there's a
guess
sign
what?
that says laboratory with
Yeah.
an arrow. Yeah.
of course.
And
So-
this is where we get to see them do their own experiment on the tomatoes
So
I mean,
yeah,
like, how
because
did
they think they're going to turn.
How are they going in here and like acting like they know what they're doing?
Well, because he
They're
looked
just pushing
he
buttons.
looked through the hole. Remember, so
Yeah, but I
that's
mean-
all he's going by. He
All
just
right,
saw
yeah.
the jukebox. So he starts making the banana head lady, the Pope,
fucking Pope.
Michael Jackson,
The return.
Don Johnson, which we mentioned earlier, and then
yeah. See,
yeah.
Clooney's unimpressed too, even
Yeah.
at this point.
well, until it makes the really hot girl, because that's what's made last.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's like, "Oh, wait a minute," and then that's when they get caught by Igor and Gangrene. And Gangrene's a badass because he smushes that tomato.
Yeah,
this,
he doesn't
this
care
is
about
just
tomatoes.
like the movie where I'm like, I can't get through this. I can't.
This is like a goddamn train wreck right
Yeah,
now.
this
For
is
real.
where You want a good-
crux of craziness.
You want a
right?
good Halloween horror episode?
Yeah.
Play this. Shit.
Yeah, this will be.
movie, man.
Hopefully, this comes out after Halloween.
I do, and like, this is so hard sometimes. Like
Because
this
it is-
movie is a good in a weird way, but man, overall it's bad.
Oh.
It's like-
I don't even know where to go next.
So this is so they got taken by Gangrene. They get put into the basement, and then eventually they get out.
Of course,
Because Tara's in the same basement with them. Why wouldn't they put them all in the same basement?
yeah. Well, why not? I mean, it furthers the plot.
Right. So then they send FT with a note. FT. Now remember, this is a fuzzy tomato that walks really slow.
not with legs.
Got like
It's got little
no,
legs.
it's got little duck legs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he takes the.
that's the
I
weirdest.
just remember when he's leaving, like when FT's trying to go up the stairs, and then they'll roll back down a few and then go up the stairs. I'm like, how long is it going to take to get this letter here?
yeah. To keep the joke going.
That's right. And of course, they take it right to the hero of the last movie, Mr. Finletter.
Yeah, he has to contact every one of the other heroes.
I'll
That's
be
right.
right over.
Yeah, then he gets to put on his suit with his rapier blade.
So and what a motley crew they look like, of course, because he's got like the Master of Disguise wearing his Lone Ranger outfit. We got Scuba Steve over there, and then Finletter in his
Scuba
parachute. So
Well, it doesn't the tomato process work in reverse too? Like they could turn humans into tomatoes.
So yeah, and in fact, that's we get the juxtaposition from Gangrene on, hey, this is my plan, haha, because that's what villains do.
Yeah,
Wait,
I'm
oh,
going
is
to
it
turn
really?
everybody into a tomato.
So we got you on a timer that's going for a
Yeah.
while.
I like
It's
Disenchantment.
like 10 minutes, right? It's like
Disenchantment called this out on that show. They were like, "Yes, I am the evil villain, but I will not be explaining what I'm going to do like most." And he leaves, and then he comes back and he goes, "Although I do believe in what I am, what I'm doing or whatever, you know."
Right on.
You're like, wow, stupid but funny.
So they're trapped in a plastic ball, basically, where they're going to be turned into tomatoes, and they Gangrene and Igor leave with Tara,
yeah,
and
because
FT again.
yeah, he's still
already
he's still
said it.
being held captive by the original heroes.
Right. So yeah, FT's with the
Fucking dude.
Origis.
The dude with the mask It's fucking hilarious. That's like the
The
funniest.
Lone Ranger one.
Yeah.